Greetings, citizens. This is Saber with news on the upcoming NPC Factions update. The upcoming update is big and changes a lot of things for Starmade, and so it's going to take some more time to make sure it's done right. We decided to show off what this update will feature in this video. What you're seeing on the screen now is a new game with a fresh universe. Everything is normal, but when we switch to the galaxy map, we can see that some factions have claimed some space. Each faction will have its own set of blueprints to use and its own configuration options. Server owners will be able to access this to customize their NPC factions. The factions will have their own goals as defined by their configuration and situation. Some will prefer small, defended territory, others could expand quickly with less density. The NPCs are driven by their need for resources. Each system has a varying amount of resources present. Asteroids spawn based on the richness of the star system. In the future, you will be able to see this variation in the galaxy map, and will have the means to scan for details. Mining is a natural way to gain resources, and NPC faction mining will be simulated by the game. If a faction mines out a sector and the player visits, they will find no asteroids. NPCs will search for the resources that allow them to build their blueprints. They will do this by scavenging, mining, trading, and producing what they need. Factions will expand to richer space first. Here we can see that an NPC has its own inventory. If an NPC faction wants to expand, it needs to pay for the ships and the stations it will build. When it has met those requirements, it can expand. The amount of resources it needs can be configured. The ships and stations used for each system can also be customized. Displayed here is a list of ship and station types that can be assigned to blueprints. When an NPC needs a miner, for example, it will spawn a blueprint that has been assigned the mining role. Beyond that, a server owner can control where the ships and stations spawn for the faction. A faction could spawn strong defensive ships and shops near the home base, and mining outposts near the edge of their territory. Here we can see the density of stations grows as we get closer to the home base of a faction. On the right, you can see information of the sector. It says that no stations have spawned. The NPC faction will pretend that they are there until the player travels there and loads the sector. Then it will spawn. This prevents the server from spawning each station during universe creation. The faction will also spawn the fleets once you have traveled there, and these fleets can perform different roles, such as mining or defending. In subsequent updates, fleet AI behavior will be revamped to provide better, more action-packed battles. When a faction loses ships or stations, it will lose the resources they were carrying. In short, if the faction cannot replenish its losses, then it will lose control of the system. As said before, the faction will attempt to obtain resources in different ways. Here we are invoking a faction turn. Trade routes have formed between trade stations. They will conduct business with any of their friendly neighbors. The prices they pay will change depending on the demand. If they are low on a resource, the price they are willing to pay will rise, and it will lower once the demand has been met. With the follow-up update, trading fleets will move the cargo and become real targets the player can raid. And that's most of it. There will be a proper update video when the patch is released, but because of the delay, we wanted to let you know what you could look forward to. When the release will be, we can't definitively say. It's a big update with many parts. This is the beginning of a huge change for Starmade, and will require a lot of work. There are many features like diplomacy and war score that still need work. We hope this gives some more insight to what will be in store for NPC factions. Thank you for your patience. We hope you've enjoyed watching, and as always, thanks for playing Starmade.